Hey guys, it's Jason with the Board Game Mechanics, and today we're going to take a look at a cool little game about dim sum called Steam Up, a Feast of Dim Sum. Steam Up is a game from Hot Banana Games, and it plays, 2 to 5 players, 60 to 90 minutes, which is probably accurate. It's a pretty quick playing game. You're only going to be playing 18 rounds at the most. And what you're trying to do in this is you are taking on the role of an animal patron at this restaurant. I'm not actually sure of the theme, but you're going to be an animal, little character, and you're trying to collect food tokens so you can go get a steamer filled with certain kinds of dim sum that match your food tokens off the turntable. You can move the turntable around to get access to different steamers. You can play some fortune cards that may let you steal some dim sum from other people, get different dim sum that you couldn't get, draw some random dim sum, all that kind of thing. This is an adorable theme. It has really great components, and this is a prototype, but the components are amazing. So that's enough talking about it. Let's go to the table. Check it out. All right, so here's a game of Steam Up, a Feast of Dim Sum, all set up for 2 players. To set up, you're going to give each player 2 of these player boards here. Again, these are, I didn't say this before, but this is all prototype components. A really nice prototype, but this is a prototype. You're going to give each player 2 of these characters that they could be, and then they're going to pick one. So in this case, we have the loyal customer and the magician. Then what you're going to do is you're going to get the starting components. So I'm going to get 2 different food tokens, which is the circle, and 2 fortune cards. They're going to get 1 food token and 2 fortune cards. And each player is going to have a special ability. We'll go into that when we play. You're going to set up the scoreboard over here, which you're going to put each of your little characters, which are adorable. So there's the magician. Here's a loyal customer right here. On the the VIP guest section. So basically the scoring tracker. You're going to, based on the number of players, you're going to put this marker, the little steamer pot, on the appropriate space. So in a 2 or 3 player game, we're going to have 12 steamer pots that we're going to be able to buy. Shuffle the fate deck, take out 18 cards, put them on the fate deck space, put the rest in the box. Shuffle all the fortune cards, put them on the appropriate space. Get out the lucky die, which will sit right there. Randomly assign someone the first player, which I've done. Give each player 1 of these cards. I just have 1 because we don't need to have more than 1 here, but there's enough for, in my copy, 3 players, but you could share. Get all these tokens, the food tokens, set them out to the side so you can have easy access to them. Have some dim sum in this bag here. And then the main crux of this game is this turntable here with the dim sum steamers. To set that up, it's going to take a little bit of work. The way that you have to set it up is you're going to there's 18 steamers, and you're going to separate them out into 3 sets of 6. In one set of 6, you're going to pick 2 tokens out of the bag, put it in the pot. In the other set of 6, you're going to do 3, and in the last set of 6, you're going to do 4. Then you're randomly going to stack them up into this turntable in stacks of 3, which I've done here. So there'll be random different amounts on top, and then each of the steamers in the stacks of 3. And that's set up. Also, for a 2-player game, we're going to use the appropriate little ring here, which I don't know how well you can see this, but there's 2 dots right here to tell you it's a 2-player game. And that's going to determine which pots you have access to buy. And that'll make a little more sense when we purchase some steamers. All right, so on your turn, you're going to take 2 different actions from these 5 possible actions here. So let's go over the actions real quick. First action you can do, take any food token I want. So I can take a food token, put it in front of me. Done. Next action I can do is I can draw a fortune card into my hand. There's no limit to fortune cards, no limit to tokens. And then when you draw a fortune card, you're also able to rotate the turntable. And I'll explain why that's important later, but that's how it turns. It just turns like a Lazy Susan type deal. So you have access to different steamer pots, and that'll make sense later. You can play a fortune card, which I play it, do what it says, discard it, and then I may rotate the turntable as well. You can discard 2 fortune cards to take any food token, so I can get rid of these 2, take this token if I wanted to. Or I can buy a steamer pot. That's the crux of the game, is buying these steamers to get the dim sum on your player board to score points. So you can see on this player board here, every pink or whatever they're called, shrimp dumplings that they get is worth 1 point unless they get too many. They don't want that many. So their whole board is effectively the same. They're going to get 1 point and then 0 if they get too many. So the types of dim sum, this one's the shrimp dumpling. This is sticky rice. This is meat dumpling. This is a phoenix claw, and this is a barbecue meat bun. I'm probably not going to say that moving forward. I'm just going to use the colors, but I wanted to put that in here so you know that everything in here is actual things. The game's going to end when either 12 steam pots are done, have been purchased in a 2 or 3 player game, or the fate deck runs out. So that means we played 18 rounds. And a round is just you get one turn, end of round 1. 1 turn, end of round 2. That kind of thing. There's no fate during round 1, but at the beginning of every other round, you're going to flip a fate card. You're going to do what it says. Kind of like an event for the round that's going to affect everybody, so on and so forth. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. This player is the first player because they have the chili sauce right here. And we're going to try to take some action so we can buy some stuff. All right, so I think the first thing I want to do is, let's look at these cards here. All right, so I can swap 1 dim sum of your on your board. I can't do that because I don't have any dim sum. Take the first player marker and draw 2 fortune cards. I don't want to do that because I have the first player marker, so I'm not going to use any of these. So what I want to do is, I'm going to draw a new one. This will let me move 1 steamer so I can shuffle the steamers around. And then I'm allowed to adjust to spin the turntable. I want to do that. So I want to bring the turntable this way. And now I'm going to explain why this is important. So if you look at the way I have this set up, this player, there's some lines on the board here. Well, let's just go with these. There's some lines on the board. There's a line here, and there's a line here. The loyal customer has access to purchase any steamer that's either touching this line or in this section. So right now they can purchase either of these 2 steamers. So the reason you want to spin it is to get steamers around into your area where you can purchase them. So that's why I wanted to spin it, and I'm going to show you why that's going to make even more sense later. So that was my first action. I took a fortune card, I spun the turntable. You don't have to spin it, but I wanted to. Now for my next action, I'm going to take a token. So I can buy either of these or either of these. So I have a pink, I have a green, and that's it. So I'm actually going to take a red, which is the phoenix claw, and I'm going to put that in front of me so I have a little more choices going forward. And that's my turn. So now it's the magician's turn. You get these cards. All right, they have some cards as well. Anything good? Nothing that they want to do right now, so they're not going to use their cards right now. And then, where are they? They can buy either of these 2 pots. They need some shrimp, so they're going to take a shrimp dumpling. And then, you know what, they're just going to go ahead and discard both of their cards. Up here to the fortune discard. And they're actually going to take another shrimp dumpling. So that was their turn. So they took a token and they discarded 2 cards to take another token. Done. So now, it's beginning of round 2. First player marker doesn't move unless somebody plays a card to make it move. We're going to flip these. Flip 1, then we're going to do what it says. The player with the least dim sum draws a dim sum from the bag and places it on their board. If tied, the tied players each draw a dim sum. So neither one of us have dim sum on our board. So we're going to draw 1. So that's where we're going to reach in this bag, randomly take out 1. So this player's first. So they get a claw, and they're going to score 1 point. Whoops, 1 point. Then the other player is going to do the same thing. They're taking out meat dumpling. They're going to score 1 point. So we're tied still. All right, so that was the event. A pretty nice event. All right, so this player's first again. The first thing I want to do is I'm going to take a yellow token for action number 1. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy a steamer. So the way that works is I can buy this one or I can buy this one. What happens here is you take the tokens of the one you want to buy. So I want to buy this one. So a meat dumpling, a shrimp dumpling, phoenix claw. They go back in to the bank. You get this steamer. They kind of stick together because, again, this is a prototype, 3D printed. So take that steamer. You're going to empty all of these onto your board, and you're going to score the points. But let me see my special ability. When you purchase a steamer, gain bonus HP based on the number of dim sum inside of it. So I have 3 dim sum. So for 3 dim sum, I get 2 extra points plus whatever I cover up on my board. So 2, 3, 4, 5. So I get 5 points. Hardy points. So I am now at 6. And then this just hangs off to the side, so you know that you've scored it, and then you're going to slide this token down to know that we can only buy 11 more. And that's our 2 actions. I took a token, bought a steamer. Done. Now it's this player's turn. They want to kind of buy a steamer too, hopefully. So let's see. I don't know if they can. I don't think they can right now. Maybe they could. So they're going to draw a fortune card. Doesn't matter what it says right now. And they're going to spin this way, because they want to get that one with the yellow. They want to get this one in their purchasing zone. So they have a pink, a white, and they're going to take a token for their second action, and they're going to take the barbecue meat bun. No, they already have that. A phoenix claw. So they'll take that. And that is the end of round 2. They took a card, took that. Now, third round, we'll flip this. Simultaneously, each player chooses 1 fortune card from their hand, if they have any, and gives it to the player on their right. So they have to give me this one, because it's the only one they have. And then I will give them this one. All right, so now we just shuffle some cards around. Done. I'm not going to spend too much time playing the cards. You can play as many as you are, one card on your turn. I'm just not really going to focus on that too much. So it's this player's turn again. They need some they need some food tokens. So let's see. They have a green. I'm going to take a red Phoenix Claw. I'm going to discard 2 of these cards. And I'm going to take another red token. So I took 1 token for free because that's an action. Then I discarded 2 cards to get another token. And that's my turn. This player, they want to hopefully buy something this round. So let's see. And they will. So they're going to take a yellow token, a meat token, or meat dumpling as their first action. Second action, they're going to buy this pot. So they need a yellow, a white, a red, and a pink. So they did that. Then their special ability, I can't read it that well. So let me pick that up. What's it say? After purchasing 1 steamer, you may swap. I could swap dim sum out if I want to, but I don't necessarily want to right now, so I'm not going to. But I'm going to get the points, so I'll slide this one over so I can see it. So 2, 3, 4, 5 points. So I get 5 points. Well, the magician gets 5 points. We're tied again. This can hang out over here. Drop this down to 10. And that is that. And that's how the game's going to keep playing until we've hit one of the end conditions. This pile is out, or this hits 0. Then you're going to finish the current round, so on and so forth. Then you're going to look at the score, and you're going to lose points for every 2 tokens you have, food tokens you have left, minus a point. Every 2 fortune cards you have left, plus a point. So you want to have fortune cards, you don't want to have food tokens at the end. And then whoever has the most points is the winner. Now this die is here. Some of the cards are going to let you roll the die, and either based on the number, it might give you a bonus. So this is 3 and the barbecue meat bun, or it could give you that food token from the bag or from the supply. The die is basically going to just do what the card says. Let me see if I can find a fake card and I'll show you what that looks like. Yeah, here we go. During this round, whenever any player gains the token shown on the die, you may take 2 instead. So at the beginning of the round, we'd roll the die, and anytime anybody would take the meat bun, they would get to take 2 instead, which is pretty cool. So just stuff like that. The die is just going to adds a little bit more randomness to the game and just make it a little more interesting. So that is how you play Steam Up, a Feast of Dim Sum. Let's go up the top, see what we think about it. All right, well, that is Steam Up, a Feast of Dim Sum. And I gotta say, man, I know this is a prototype, but these components are off the chain. Like, this turntable right here is amazing. It's like a prototype, but this is so freaking cool. I love it. The way that it works in the game is amazing too. All the little dim sum pieces that I got in this bag here are 3D printed. So, you know, they look like 3D prints, but this is the shrimp. That's awesome. I know they're going to be, according to the sheet that I have in front of me here, The pieces are going to be like the berries and Everdell. If you've seen those, kind of like soft rubber plastic type thing, which is really cool. The steamers, man, these are awesome. These are 3D printed as well, but the way they stack up together, show you the, you know, have the slots on it like a little actual dim sum thing is amazing. And the fact that you can fit those 3D printed pieces on there and still put them on top of each other is incredible. The fortune cards are neat. I don't think they're like, I didn't show them a ton in the overview. I don't think they're going to like, you know, break the game or make the game. If you don't like it, it just adds a little more flavor for you to do. Even if you're not using them as the card, you can still cash into and get an extra token, which is pretty awesome. So everything about this game is enjoyable. It's pretty light. It's on the family weight game. I mean, you're just taking an action, trying to get certain food tokens, move the turntable around to buy dim sum. That's the whole game. But the way the fate cards work, showing you a different event every round that may be good, may be bad. A lot of them are actually pretty good. Even the bad ones still aren't that bad. And the food tokens, I'm not sure what these are actually going to look like in the final game. These are like not the greatest quality, but they serve their purpose. The highlight is the steamer and the dim sum in the steamer. But yeah, you're going to be using these a lot because that's the currency of the game effectively. I know this is a prototype rulebook, but I actually really like this. It's like bound a little bit. It's got a plastic, like, you know, report sleeve on it. Man, it's so good. And the rulebook is really clear, really easy to understand. It even has like factoids, like about not putting your chopsticks down in the food because that symbolizes death, so you always want to lay them flat. And it talks about how number 4, the die doesn't have a 4 on it because 4 is an unlucky number. So they just left that off and left it a 0. There's just some cool factoids about all the numbers and the pieces of the game, which I really enjoy. So this is a really fun game. I'm actually after playing this, I'm way more excited about it than I was before I played it. Because it's light, but the gameplay is just enjoyable and looks amazing on the table. Every character has a different special ability, which is also amazing too. And I can't say enough good things about this. So I'm going to give this a BGM accepted seal. I'm going to give this an 8 out of 10 on BGG, which is a 4 out of 5 wrenches. On our arbitrary mint scale, that means absolutely nothing. But I like to give it the games that we enjoy, and that's what I'm going to do. So that is Steam Up from Hot Banana Games. I'm Jason with the Board Game Mechanics. And as always, keep gaming.